What is up, guys? If there's one app that is worth buying for on Android, that would be Tasker. Tasker takes your Android phone to a whole different level. It really redefines the word smartphone. So if you have popcorn, beer, whatever it is that you have laying around, grab some, because this one's gonna be a little long one, but I'm telling you right now, it's gonna be very good. So without further ado, let's get started. So since this is a beginner's guide, I'm not gonna go through everything. This is just sort of for you to get your feet wet and make you comfortable using Tasker. When you first load up the application, you'll notice that there's 4 tabs on top: Profile, Tasks, Scenes, and Variables. Today, we're only gonna be talking about Profile and Tasks. Now, what is a profile? The easiest way for me to explain it would be profile is an action that triggers a task. In layman's term is, remember when you were a kid and they told you, hey, go do your chores. Your chores is the profile, but inside you had to mow the lawn, take out the trash. Those were the tasks. So realistically, you can name your profile whatever you want. It's just for you to remember. So in this case, we're going to leave it blank. And we're going to show you the first context, which are the first actions that will trigger the task. So for example, you can specify when I have the browser or a specific app like this application, the browser, or when I load Amazon, I want this, this, and this to happen, okay? Or you can say when from 12 o'clock to 5 o'clock p.m., I want to trigger this task. Let's see, or you can even specify specific time of the week, for example, Monday through Friday. So you just have to highlight every single one of them. Or you could say only on October, only November, I want to trigger this task. Okay? You can also do it by location. So right now it's going to find my location, and I could say within a 30-mile radius, I want this or that to happen. Okay? Now again, I'm not going to go through every single one of them. State, let's just pick one. Let's do net. When I'm connected to a Wi-Fi network, I would like this to happen, or I want to turn Bluetooth off, or I want, you can even have series of tasks, which we'll talk about soon. And the last one is an event. Okay, like I said, just take a little peek in here. There's so much to do with Tasker that it would take me a long time. So let's go ahead and create a new profile. Now, phones are pretty smart, but they're not smart enough. I'm going to create a profile so that when I'm near my home or my office, I want my Wi-Fi to turn on. Why should I have my Wi-Fi on as I'm driving to waste battery? It just doesn't make any sense. So I'm going to name my profile Wi-Fi Connect. And this is, again, you can call it whatever you want. You could call it Wi-Fi. This is just my profile that helps me identify what I'm doing. Now, you guys saw the location one where it was, whenever I'm in 30-mile radius, I want my Wi-Fi to turn on. But the problem with this is that it's going to suck up a lot of juice. What I mean by that is your GPS has to remain on, and it's always going to try and find you. So this is not the smartest way to do it. There's actually a better way. You click on State, and I believe it's phone. Okay, so now you're going to click Cell Near. So you're going to tell Tasker, whenever I'm near these cell towers, I want you to turn Wi-Fi on. Okay, so go ahead and click on Scan. You don't need to search for these towers. It automatically scans them for you. And I recommend you just leave it on for, the longer the better. If you could do it for 15 minutes, great. Walk around your house, walk around your office, walk around wherever you want, because sometimes there's multiple cell towers near your area, and you want to make sure that you can cover them all. So right now it's just finding one, and you'll feel the phone vibrate, by the way. So I'm just going to go ahead and hit stop. So now I'm telling Tasker, whenever I'm near this cell tower, I'm going to trigger a task. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and hit scan again. See, there it goes. I found another one. So now I have 2. Okay. So you could just keep doing that, or again, I recommend just leave it on and walking around the house, or even if you want to go around the neighborhood. So I'm going to go ahead and hit OK. So now that is my first action. Now I need to create a new task. Okay. So what is the name of the task? Similar to what I just said before, you can call it whatever you want. I'm just going to call it Wi-Fi on. Oops, there it goes. So now I'm gonna add an action or a task to do, and I can create different tasks. So right here,
I'm gonna find, let's see, I think it's net, Wi-Fi, here it is, and I'm gonna set it to on, okay? And I'm gonna go ahead and check mark that. Go ahead and check mark that, okay? Sorry, sometimes anyway. So now it's saying this is my profile. Whenever I'm near these cell towers, I want my Wi-Fi to turn on. As you notice, I'm on 4G right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and test my action or my task. Go ahead and hit, oops, sorry. To test it, you hit this play button here, sorry. So there it goes, Wi-Fi just turned on and my 4G just turned off automatically. So now whenever I'm near these cell towers, my phone will automatically turn on Wi-Fi. How awesome is that? But what happens when I leave my home or wherever I want my Wi-Fi to turn on? We have to create an end if statement, okay? So basically what I have to do now is hold down where it says Wi-Fi on, and I'm gonna create an exit task, okay? And I'm gonna create a new task. Remember, we have Wi-Fi on already, which as a task, which will always be saved and you can use them later. And I'm gonna create a new one called Wi-Fi off. And this just makes it easier for me to remember. Sorry. Wi-Fi off, okay? Do the same thing. We're gonna find an action or a task. I don't know why they call it action, I guess. Anyway, so that would be under net, and we're gonna find Wi-Fi, and it's gonna set off, okay? Go ahead and hit okay. So now, let's start over. Whenever I'm near these cell towers, turn on Wi-Fi. Otherwise, I want you to turn it off. So it's very simple. Whenever I leave, whenever I'm disconnected from these cell towers, which I'm telling you right now, it doesn't use literally nothing, because the phone is already checking for these towers. So it's not like you're using any more battery than you normally would if you had GPS on. It's going to leave the Wi-Fi on, otherwise it's going to turn it off. So your phone is now one step smarter in saving not only battery, but saving you time from turning these things on and off. Let's go ahead and do another profile. Now, because I'm right now in my office, I don't like to do this. I'll show you right now. I don't like to do my lock screen. It just doesn't make sense. I'm in my office. Nobody's going to steal my phone, so I want to disable my lock screen. So I'm going to create a new task. Okay, let's go ahead and do that. The profile, let's go ahead and call this lock screen. And you can call it whatever you want. Lock screen, okay? So now, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to say whenever I'm connected to my Wi-Fi, so Wi-Fi connected, but not just any Wi-Fi, I'm going to specify the SSID, okay? And if you don't know it, you could just find these, oops, sorry, wrong one. Search for one and it shows you all of the different SSIDs. I think this one's called virus exe, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and click on check mark. So now it's saying whenever I'm connected to virus exe, I want to turn my lock screen off. So I'm going to go ahead and create a new task. Okay, this task is going to be called lock off. Okay. Now let's go ahead and create that task, and I believe this is display key guard off. Okay, let's go ahead and do that. So now, whenever I'm connected to the virus exe, that is my Wi-Fi network, I want the lock screen to be off. Remember what we did before, the end task? Otherwise, turn it on. Because if you leave your Wi-Fi network, it's going to remain off. So you got to make sure you create that end if lock on. Otherwise, you're going to get screwed. Let's go ahead and do that. So I think that, yeah, display, key guard, sometimes I don't remember. There's so much stuff in here. Let's go ahead and click on. There we go. Run it again. Whenever I'm connected to this specific Wi-Fi network, turn my lock screen off. Otherwise, relock it. Let's go ahead and hit play. Now, let's leave it off for a second, and when I do this, it should, there it goes. I don't need to do my lock screen anymore. And this is very convenient, especially at home. I hate doing my unlock password. So let's try that again. And let's show you. There it is. The next profile I'm going to show you, and these are just examples, you guys can really do your own, is I'm going to call this one music. So what I want to happen is whenever my, let's see, this one should be hardware. Whenever my headset is plugged in, I want something to happen. And it could say any, it could be mic, I'm going to put any, okay? And the reason I'm going to do this is because whenever I plug in my headphones, I listen to music. So I'm going to create a new task. And I'm going to call this music, music on. Okay? Now what do I want to happen? I want to load an application. So in this case, we're going to use the app category, and it's going to say load app. We're going to load an app. What app are we going to load? We're going to load music. Okay, music. Yeah, it should be alphabetical order here. Sorry. Recording. Oh, it's not music. Where is it? There it is. Play music. Sorry. Okay, we're going to load play music. Let's go ahead and do that. Go ahead and hit start. So now, let me just exit out of Tasker here. Let me grab my headset here. There we go. So now when I plug this in, it should load up Google Music. There it goes. Okay? Easy as that. Now, I'm not going to create an end if statement because when I unplug it, I could either do something else, so I don't want it to kill the app. But you could, let's go back to, you could say that, whoa, wrong one. Sorry. You could say that whenever you exit or unplug it to kill the music and just basically go back to the home screen. So let's go ahead and do a little bit something more beginner advanced. Now, just really quick here, if you notice that these are green, like Wi-Fi Connect and lock screen, is because these profiles are activated. They're active. That means that since I'm near a cell tower, my Wi-Fi is on. So it is turned on, same with the lock screen. My lock screen is disabled. Otherwise, if you notice that this is not green, that's because I don't have my headset plugged in, so this profile is not active. So the next profile I want to do is one called silent, or what I like to call silent weekend. And the reason why I call it silent weekend is because I have a silent weekday. And this is when during the weekend, since I sleep in, I don't want my people calling me, or if they do call me, I don't want to be bothered. So I'm going to go ahead and click on day because this is the weekend. So let's go ahead and pick Saturday and Sunday. So we've picked those 2 days. And I'm going to create a new task. And I'm going to call this silent on. Basically, I'm going to turn all the ringers and all the volumes off. Click on audio setting, and you're going to put ringer volume. Now, right now it's set to 1, so you can really specify whatever you want. I'm going to say 0. That means that it's going to be off. Okay, and you can add, like I've stated before, you can add other. For example, I can turn my wrong one. Audio settings. I can turn my media volume off too, or lower it. So I'll go ahead and do that. Even though media doesn't really matter, but you could do one, let's say at night, if you're using your phone, let's say you don't want to wake anybody up and you load YouTube and it's full blast, that's another way you can do that too. So just to give you an idea. So I'm going to go ahead and leave that on there. Go ahead and click OK. So silent on, Sunday or Saturday. But there's a problem. I only want it to trigger from 12 to 10, okay? In other words, from 12 to 10, don't bother me. So what I do, I long press Sunday or Saturday, and I add a new task or a new context. And this is going to be a time-based. So I'm going to go ahead and put 12. I'm going to just do 12:30, otherwise this video is going to be long. From 12 to, okay, just there. I figured it'd be easier, otherwise I'm not going to make it specific, okay? So from 12:30 to 20:45, we're doing military time here, I want my silent to be on. Otherwise, remember the end if, or I call it end if, it's actually an exit task. The exit task, we're going to do a silent off. Okay, silent off. Let's go ahead and do that just really quick here. Audio settings, default, no, not default ringtone, we want ringer volume. And we'll just put it back to level 3. Okay, go ahead and click OK. So there we go. Let's run it through by really quick here. On Sunday, or Saturday and Sunday, between this 12:30 and 20:45, I want to have my ringer volume set to 0 and media volume set to 0. I know I didn't do it on silent. On the end or end task, and it's okay. Otherwise, when it's not in that time frame, I want my ringer volume at 3. And you could do this for silent weekdays. So if you have certain profiles on the weekdays, or if it's only Monday through Friday, once again, you guys can call it whatever you want. These are just examples that I'm giving you so that you can feel comfortable using this application. So this last profile that I want to show you guys requires a little bit more steps, but I think you guys will really like this one. One last thing, as you see, Silent Weekend is turned on. Whenever you want to disable a profile, not necessarily delete it, but just don't want to use it anymore, just go ahead and check mark the check mark, excuse me, and you'll notice that this profile has now been disabled. So when I go ahead and click OK, my ringer should work now. Anyway, so let's do this one. I like to call this one car mode. We're going to go for a little drive really soon here. So I'm going to go ahead and click on car mode, or create this car mode first context, and this is a state. When I'm connected to Bluetooth, and I don't have to specify what Bluetooth, because at least for me, I only really use one Bluetooth. I want to initiate a new task, and I'm going to call this car mode on. And the reason why I call it car mode on is because I want it to do a lot of things. Okay, so for example, I wanted to load an app. Load app. What app do I use? It's called Car Home Ultra. Very awesome app. Okay, I also wanted to rotate the screen. Okay, so display rotation on. Okay, so that's going to rotate the screen for me automatically. Okay, and what else? Oh, unlock the display key guard off. There you go. I wanted to turn the key guard off because when I'm in my car, I don't want to unlock or do all my little code. Especially, you never know. What if I get in an accident? Somebody needs to use my phone or something. I know that sounds crazy, right? But you got to think about these things. So as you can see, when I'm connected to a Bluetooth, I want all of these tasks to happen. And I think on my actual one I have more, but I'm just showing you these 3 right now. So otherwise, I want car mode to go off, or whenever I'm not connected to the Bluetooth, I'm going to create one called car mode off. Car mode off. Okay, so what is the first thing I want to do is I want to kill that app. Okay, so how do we kill the app? Okay, we're going to kill the app. Okay, Car Home Ultra. Now, ever since I upgraded to Jelly Bean, for whatever reason, I need it. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. But I noticed that when I use root, in other words, I'm giving root access to kill the app. So this is it's almost like you're double killing it. Okay. For those of you that are not on Jelly Bean, and I've found out that sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But when you use root, it definitely kills it for the most part. I haven't had a problem. So we're going to kill the app. We're going to rotate the screen back to. We're going to set it off. In other words, it's going to go back to where it was. And we're going to enable key guard. Go ahead and turn key guard back on. Okay? So let's go ahead and try this. Let's take a little ride. We'll be right back. Okay, so I'm in my car right now. As you can see, the rotation is not the way I want it to. But as soon as I turn my car on, my car mode should turn on. So let's go ahead and take a look. Stop believing. Hold on to the feeling. Oh, sorry guys. Let me turn that down. Got a little excited there. Anyway, let me turn the air up a little bit. It's hot. Okay. As you can see, car mode turned on. And I am now in my application, which I can do a lot of other things. That is a whole nother video on its own. So here, my rotation, as you saw, turned over, and I can do other things here. I love this app, by the way. I'll do a review on it one of these days. Now, when I turn my car off, it will go back to, it'll kill the app and go back to how it was before. Let's go ahead and do that. There you go. Automated tasks for Android using Tasker.
I just showed you not even 1% of what Tasker is capable of doing. I'm not kidding. Somebody can write a book for dummies on Tasker. No, seriously, joke aside, somebody can make a lot of money writing that book. Anyhow, if you guys have any profiles that you want to share with me, send them over to wickedforyoutoSee@gmail.com. I'm going to be doing more of these Tasker videos. This was part 1 of my beginner's guide, so maybe I'll feature your profile. Let me know what that profile does, add a little bit of instructions, and I will continue making these videos. Please share this with all your friends. Let them know what Android is capable of doing. And also, I do new videos every Tuesday, so make sure you follow, subscribe, G+ on the bottom, Twitter, everything. Anyhow, I will see you next Tuesday. Thank you so much for watching. Adios.